ladies, have you ever noticed that the most memorable woman in the room isn't always necessarily the prettiest? Today we are going to get into how to become the unforgettable woman. If you are new here, of course, this is Get 'em Girl, a girl's guide to relationships, femininity, dating, polarity, and attraction. And I have a really good video for you ladies today, so let's just go ahead and hop into it. So first things first, I do think we have to acknowledge the fact that, yes, although we want to be pretty, beautiful women, because it does get attention, let's not act like it doesn't. But getting the attention and then being unforgettable are two different things. Pretty is going to get you attention. Being unforgettable is going to be something that leaves a lasting impression. Okay, so when you are just pretty, you will get the glances and the compliments. You'll get the initial attention, right? But having the attention is not the same as impact. The attention is temporary. Have you ever been in a situation, and ladies, I feel like we've all been here, especially in our younger years, where you are looking really good, right? You're out and about and you catch someone's eye, right? You catch someone's eye, you get their attention, but then it's temporary and y'all just kind of pass each other, right? It doesn't cause them to stop. It doesn't cause them necessarily to say anything, but you get the initial attention. Sometimes that is all it is with being pretty. Sometimes. And so what I want us to do is to be unforgettable women. They stay in your mind even once you have left the room. They are someone that you are thinking about even after you've had the conversation with them. For some reason, the conversation is still being played in your head. That's what you want for yourself, okay? You want to have an impression that people still are talking about even once you've left the room. Okay, you're going to be the woman that they are thinking about without even necessarily trying to think about you. It's just on their mind, right? You're just on their mind. And that's the difference that we're talking about today. Okay, so pretty is giving you the visual behind things, and then becoming unforgettable. That's going to give you that emotional pull in the background. So the first thing about being the unforgettable woman is realizing that a unforgettable woman is always going to have a strong internal identity. Okay, that's the difference a lot of times between women who are memorable and women who are not. Unforgettable women are not trying to figure out who they are in real time. Okay, that is work that is done already in the background and not in front of people. They already know who they are. They have already identified a really strong sense of self. They have taste. They know what they like. They know what they will and they won't tolerate. They know what they represent when they step out the door. And so when they walk into a room, they're not adjusting themselves based on who is in the room. They're consistent, right? Because when they come in, they have this already laid foundation of, this is the woman I am. This is how I want to present in the world. This is how I want to interact with people. This is me, right? That's not changing depending on the room that I am. I have a strong internal identity. I know myself. I carry myself like this. It's not changing because when you don't quite have that internal identity, you kind of mold to the room. You kind of mold to the conversations that are being had. You'll find that in one conversation, maybe a week ago, last weekend, you said one thing, but in this conversation, you may be contradicting yourself. You may be saying something completely different based on the people that you're around, okay? If that is happening, that means we need to develop a stronger sense of self, and we do that in private. That is that background work that we do. Is not meant to be done in front of a crowd. It's not meant to be something that other people take notice of. It's an internal thing. It's an internal work, okay? Because people, they don't remember confusion. They don't remember women who are unsure and, oh, maybe, I never thought about it. And that's not memorable, okay? They remember women who have clarity, who have a sense of direction, who actually know themselves and know what they want out of life. The second thing about an unforgettable woman is she doesn't just give you something to see. These women tend to make you feel something. Here's the thing. The way you make a person feel may be different than how another woman makes people feel. Okay, so this is all still very personalized, but The unforgettable woman makes them feel something, okay? Pretty is just something you see. Like we said before, unforgettable is something that you feel. And so if you think back about women who you've met who've left a strong impression on you, it could be because hey, and this happens positively and negatively. I want to say that as well. It could be because they had a very caring spirit and they made you feel like when they were talking to you, you were the only person in the room and they were just really in depth with you. Or it could be because they had a really strong personality and you felt their personality and it was hard to function around that personality, or it was hard to be in that room and not have to interact with their personality. Right, ladies? There are some women who make you feel, let's be honest, inferior when they walk into a room because they have their stuff together, they look really good, but also then they have the accolades in the background and it makes you feel like I want to be doing more. Look at all the things that she's doing. It makes you feel like I could work harder on myself. It's an example. She's leading by an example, and it makes you feel like, hey, I need to step it up. That's still an unforgettable woman. So that's why I say sometimes this can lean into positive and negative emotion, but ultimately what it's about is leaving a good impression is what we want to do. We want to leave an impression that makes people have positive feelings towards us, but we also want to leave an impression, especially for when we're around other women, we also want to leave an impression that makes the woman say, hey, you know what? I want whatever that is, I want a little bit of that. I want to add a little bit of that to myself. I want to make some of that my goal, right? You want to be able to inspire women as well. That is a strong way to make someone feel something and it be positive. If you are inspiring them to do something for their life, that's how you leave an impression. That's how you make yourself unforgettable. Okay. It's the way that you make people feel in your presence, whether that's calm, inspired, whether you're making them feel understood, if you're making them feel challenged. All of those things can be impressions that the unforgettable woman leaves on other people. And that emotional kind of imprint, that's what stays with people. Okay. And I feel like we don't necessarily focus on the fact that we want to be leaving impressions. We don't want to just focus on how we look. We want to focus on how our presence actually does affect other people emotionally. A woman who is truly unforgettable also is not going to perform for validation. There is a shift that has to happen within you when you decide that you don't care about approval. When you decide that you're not going to perform for approval. When you decide that you don't need approval. Right, ladies? We don't need anyone's approval. And so when you kind of make that shift, you will find yourself being less willing to explain your choices. And I say that in a way that sometimes we try to validate what we have going on to other people so they don't look at us a certain way. So they don't think that what we're choosing to do is crazy. So they can look and see and truly understand where we're coming from. Once you let go of the need for people to understand where you're coming from all the time and for them to validate what you got going on all the time, you will have a lot more ease in this life. I'm just telling you. Okay, because you are not trying to be liked by everybody. You have to come to the understanding that you will not be liked by everybody. Everybody will not like what you're doing. Everybody will not understand. And here's the funny thing about all of that. Once you make whatever it is happen, once you do the thing, once you become the woman, they'll see it then. Okay. So trying to explain it to them and get that validation initially is really just a waste of time and it's just spinning your wheels. The unforgettable woman, she stops adjusting things based on the room. She stops adjusting things based on what she wants people to think about what she's doing. She stops adjusting things based on trying to validate her choices. Okay. It's not that you're trying to be cold to people, but you do want to have that stability that says, even if you don't like it, I love it. Okay. And I'm doing this. I'm being this. This is who I am. Okay. And people notice that. Most people are used to very reactive kind of people who change based off of what they say. They say something and the person like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. No, the woman who was unforgettable, she said what she said. Quite frankly, she said what she said. She's going to do what she said she's going to do. And the unforgettable woman does not react to every opinion. Okay? They move with intention. Another very important point that we have to discuss about a woman who is unforgettable. Yes, she invests in her looks. She cares about her presentation, but she also invests really heavily in her lifestyle. So, the same way that we talk about spa treatments, skin treatments, hygiene, and investing in ourselves as far as the package that we're presenting to the world, unforgettable women, they invest in their life. And I feel like in a lot of femininity content, we talk about investing in looks and all that kind of stuff, but we don't talk about investing in lifestyle. Okay, because looking good is only part of it, but it's not the foundation. Unforgettable women find a way to build a life that feels full to them. It feels exciting to them. It feels like something they can get lost in. You want to be able to have things going on in your life, in your world, that you can get lost in it. People could be ringing your phone and you're so deep into what you're doing that you don't even realize that it's ringing because you can get lost in your lifestyle. It feels like it can take your time and attention because you love it and it's full and you're investing in it. Okay? You have routines that kind of keep you grounded. You have hygiene routines and all of that. Yes, but you have daily routines. Getting up, getting steps in, hygiene routine, maybe workout, getting work done, making sure your finances are good. But then those other little hobbies and things that you add into your day that make it feel really full. What is your life routine? What is your day-to-day routine? What are you doing? How are you investing in lifestyle? Not just looks. How are you investing in the life that you live? Are you putting anything towards your space where you're living? When you walk into your space, does it look like you've invested in it? When you're taking care of your body, does it look like you have invested in your body? Have you invested in developing a really good skill set? Have you invested in making sure that you have taken care of relationships that may affect your peace, right? Have you invested in having conversations with people that need to be had so that you can get those things said and move on? They have goals that aren't dependent on external validation. That's what I'm getting at. They have goals and they invest in things that sometimes no one may ever see. It's because they want it for themselves. They want to live a life that's filled with that. They want to have a life that has some kind of different aspect to it that excites them. It's not about what anyone else sees. Have you invested in the life that you live? And because of that, when you invest in your lifestyle and it becomes a lifestyle that you are enthralled with, you're excited about life, you're excited about the things you're doing, excited about the growth you're experiencing, that makes it where you can do point four a little bit easier. You can stop performing for other people's validation because you feel so validated within yourself that you don't really care what they think. You come across as a woman who is already living. You come across as a woman with a full life that you are living and you are captivated by it. Okay, ladies? So, at the end of the day, what this all really boils down to is if you want to be a woman who is unforgettable, you need to know that people rarely remember the details of your outfit, right? They may not even remember the exact words you said. They will remember how they felt around you. Did they feel respected? Did they feel seen? Did they feel inspired? Hey, did they feel drained? The emotional experience is really what determines if someone is unforgettable. That's what I want us to understand. And ladies, we prefer to do it in a positive way. We don't want to leave people drained and tired. We prefer to leave women feeling inspired. well, I say women, but people, we prefer to leave people feeling inspired by us. We prefer leaving people with the impression that we are operating fully in our femininity and we love our life and we love ourselves and we have done a lot of inner work. That's really the impression that you want to leave, and you decide how you want to leave that impression. This is work that is done over time. It's not an overnight thing like you wake up tomorrow, I'm this woman. You have to do some work to become this person because you have to have a stability in it, ladies. Okay? You have to have a stability in your emotions. You have to have stability in how you feel like you want to be seen. You have to be very, very invested in I am this woman and I'm going to wake up as her every single day. So it is not overnight. So, with all that being said, ladies, you know I am not leaving you without giving you the verse of the day. We're going to be in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. Okay, ladies, I want to thank y'all again for tuning into another episode of Get 'em Girl. I hope that y'all are enjoying all of the content. I'm trying to be very, very consistent on the channel, so hopefully y'all are enjoying all the videos. And I want to thank y'all again for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.